Here is my experimental setup for testing my Homebrew density meter. So I've got about 20 litres of water there in my fermenter. My fermenter. Here's an ESP8266. Here's a 3.3 to 5 volt level shifter. Here's a B around the light. Here's the ultrasonic board. So it's got a little driver on there that has the right electronics to take a trigger input from here, send out a 40 kilohertz pulse on the ultrasonic transducer, wait for it to receive, and then it holds the output pin high for a period of time that depends on how long it took the ultrasonic pulse to come back to the receiver. So at the back of that there's a coax cable that goes over to the ultrasonic transducer there. There's a bag with some araldite in it that's set rock hard, and just some cable ties and a bit of rope to hold it hard up against there. So the araldite is nicely conformant to the outside and also to the sensor. So you can probably hear that. So it's taking 250 readings every second or so. Now I'm going to do my very best not to drop my phone in the water. Hopefully you can tell that it's a bit louder inside, which tells me that there's lots of the sonic energy being transferred into the water. So over here I have the values being graphed. So the ESP is connecting to my MQTT server and publishing the readings. And I'm also watching the serial console here. So what I'll do, the initial proof of concept testing I've been doing so far is to grab this milk bottle and submerge it down into the water in front of the sensor, thus lowering the density of the water that the sensor is measuring, and that number should go up. So you pop that down in there, and the number goes up. And down. So my system of holding this milk jug in here is pretty noisy, like I'm disturbing the water and so on and so forth, but on average the number goes up. Whether it's statistically significant enough for my purposes, I don't know, but that's just to test the concept of, can this thing get enough energy into the water to give me a useful reading. So at present, yes, I can detect whether a milk jug is in the water or not. Next up, I'm going to float a hygrometer in there and then start dumping in this bag of pool salt that the rats have been into, because you know, you got to get your salt somewhere. Some salt. So I'm going to use this to bump the density up. My rough calculation tells me that in 20 litres of water I'll have to add about 1 kilo of salt to get up to 105 specific gravity ish, give or take. I'm in the right magnitude, but I'll be able to use my hygrometer as feedback, so I'll be able to see if this is actually a useful signal. There is a lot of noise. Not all the sonic energy is going into the water. I might have to look at ultrasonic sensors made to go on boat hulls for sonar depthing, which might be a better option, but much more expensive. I was hoping to get something quite cheap. This is really sensitive. I don't like this system at all. It's sort of an awkward combination of the substrate that goes between your sensor and the thing you're measuring needs to be hard so it conducts the ultrasound, but being hard means it's not very conformant. So if I shift this even slightly, it doesn't work, because the curvature of the inside of that plastic is now not lined up. So I have to get it perfectly in the right spot for it to conduct the power into the water. And, you know, that has now changed the signal a fair bit. It might settle down to close to where it was, but this is definitely not a great solution for absolute reading because it's so dependent on the implementation. But, yeah, it's a start. Okay, bye-bye.